So if they're outside smoking, hopefully someone can get them to come in.
Everybody's going to get everything. That whole place has been empty, yeah? This is Howard Spike up there, ladies and gentlemen. Howard is the director of Fairfield School. And he wants the facts, nothing but the facts. He's a man of many words and few original thoughts. He can...
You want to say hi to Tracy? Hey, Tracy. Tracy.
Say roll call at each table. See who's missing. The honor table, everyone's here? Right? We're missing a few staff people. There, everyone's there. So Zazlo's table.
We're just missing two right now.
Kim, your table is all accounted for.
Where's Diane? You didn't see Diane?
Mr. Shamo, everyone's there. Mr. Rudman, Mr. Merchant, your table's all there. Okay, so we need what, a couple missing?
Just two.
Now clear the room. We're trying to get them back.
We're waiting for you.
Carol, are you set? Your table's all accounted for? We're okay? Terrific. Okay. What contact lens?
Oh, Jody Rudman just left. Her contact lens just...
All inches.
Oh.
Minor adjustment. Okay, now we can see. Thank you, Jeff. Before we get into the formal part of the evening, we really can't start the evening without thanking a number of people. And every graduation, I'm guilty of leaving someone out, so I'm going to do it a little differently tonight. We have a lot of moms and some dads also that really helped make this room and party a special affair. I would just like to ask them to stand so we can applaud for you and thank you, everybody. I know a lot of people helped out. Three months ago, I presented a speech in New Orleans in front of several hundred people. And afterwards, I was approached by several professors from some Big Ten colleges, primarily Indiana University and Michigan. And they wanted to know more about our school. And I was telling them really about our sixth graders, because this has been one of the most special classes we've ever had. And they were really impressed with the curriculum. And I said, well, and how fortunate they are to get this kind of curriculum. And I said, well, we feel that we're fortunate to have the kind of kids who could handle this kind of curriculum. I was giving them some examples, and I wanted to share some of the classes that these youngsters have had this year. And I think you can just tell by the variety of classes, aside from their basic subjects of language arts, of reading and mathematics. They had a Shakespeare unit, Taming of the Shrew. They study countries of Asia. They study the Civil War. They have life science, American Revolution, Spanish, computers, obstacle course, throwing teachers in the sprinklers. One of their electives this year. But besides the academic growth that we saw this last year, and just all the enrichment classes they had, this has probably been one of the most caring and involved groups of kids we've ever had. Just to go over the review, it's kind of like a State of the Union, but this, I think you can see this by, and this doesn't cover it all, we'd be here all evening. They were our leaders at our first camp up at Hess Kramer this year. We really needed their leadership, and they really helped us a lot. They adopted orphans at Holly Grove Orphanage in Hollywood this past Christmas. They helped the victims of the Mexican earthquake this past year. They collected clothes for the homeless. They broke all records in our magazine drive, which helped our computer lab and science program and so on. When the Krista McAuliffe and the Space Shuttle 7 disaster occurred, these kids came forward and immediately wanted to do something. And then we ended up with our flagpole dedication. They broke all records at Magic Mountain for continuous writing classes. And lastly, they welcomed our newest student, who I don't think we'll allow to graduate, but I know they'll always remember Clyde, who is our new school mascot. We've been very proud of this class. As you can see, they are a very bright, caring, and involved group. Before we get to you meeting some of the individual sixth graders, and they'd like to share some of their thoughts with you, I want to identify one of our students that's kind of off the agenda, but he's really hung in there. I've got to recognize Robert Jones. I don't think I have to say anything else. Just look. I would like to introduce some of our terrific kids, and they'd like to share some of their thoughts with you. And I'd like to start out by, we're going to go in alphabetical order, very simple, and we'll start out with Lexi Shamo.
There was something this afternoon, when for the past 3 days, the sixth graders have been eating lunch together, and we kept thinking about the worst things that could possibly happen. And one of them was that the first person would come up and trip on the steps and sort of, so that's why I think it's careful. Okay. Okay. I would just like to say how much I've enjoyed coming to Fairfield. Everyone has been very understanding and helpful to me. I've had the kind of education here that I know will help me in the future. Mrs. Tarr has taught me things dealing with science and English, and I thank her for it. Miss Christie has taught me how to have PE and fun at the same time. Miss Critch has taught me everything I know about school computers. When I felt sick and went to lay down in the library, Miss Sandler has comforted me. Miss Penny has made me realize that sometimes talking can get you more than the beginning of a conversation, but also 10 minutes on the bench. Then there was Miss Shackman. Though she restricted time, 6th grade wouldn't have been the same without her. All of you are very special people, and I'll never forget you for how much you've helped me. Mom and Dad, I must give credit to you, for without your combined efforts, I wouldn't be here today. My dad said that he wanted 4 kids before he had me. Then when I was born, he said 2 would be plenty. I love you very much, Daddy. And Mom, who always encourages me to do things, including studying for finals, courtesy of Miss Shackman, I love you very much. And to all of my friends and relatives, I'm sorry I couldn't put you in the speech, and Mr. Spike. So this is for you. Sorry. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm lucky to know people just like you. Thank you.
Okay, next, Jenny Goodby.
I have been at Fairfield for 4 years, and most of those years have been great, especially 6th grade. Out of this whole year, my favorite thing was going to Magic Mountain. I would like to thank all of my friends, especially Maya Merchant, and all of my teachers, especially Mrs. Shackman.